What is going on, everybody? Silver Scrounger here, and today is the day for another Constitutional Silver Series episode. Today, we're going to look at some odd denomination silver coins as well as the lesser silver content coins as well. So, let's get going. Alright, there are plenty of silver coins we have not covered yet in this whole Constitutional Silver series. And if you haven't seen the ones that we've covered already, you can check those out in the videos that are in my Constitutional Silver series playlist. I'll leave a link to that playlist down below in the description. But on this episode, we're going to be looking at the 3-cent silver piece, also known as a trime, which is right there. Doesn't show the best on camera with it being in this flip because I don't have one that fits very well for it. And they're just super tiny. But we'll be covering that one. We'll also be covering war nickels, which are all of these. Typically, you find them in this kind of condition, kind of darkened, worn, nothing too great or special. And this one was actually cleaned in one of my videos. But, you know, nothing too much to really look at. And there's your way of telling this a war nickel, especially, is with that D in there. But we'll cover that later. I've also got some wonderfully graded ones as well. We're also going to be talking about a half dime, 20-cent piece, 40% silver half dollars, which you see right here. You will only see them in the Kennedy half dollars. And we're also going to take a look at a few silver Eisenhower dollars. Now, with all of that, we're going to have to split this episode into 2 parts. And in this episode, we're going to be covering the silver 3-cent piece or trime, war nickels, and the first 2 designs of the half dime. Now, before we jump into things, this video and the Constitutional Silver series is sponsored by Royal Coins and Jewelry. If you're looking for some specific coins for a collection or trying to stack some silver or gold for the lowest cost, you really need to go check out Royal Coins and Jewelry. Their silver and gold prices are drastically lower than online dealers and even beat out competing shops. You can stop by the shop if you're in the Houston area or check out their website at royalcoins.com. And yeah, I know, you're thinking, but Scrounger, any savings on the price, I'm just dumping into shipping. Well, you can forget about that nonsense. When you go check out, use my promo code SS. You'll get free first-class shipping, a value of up to $6. I will leave a link to their website as well as their Instagram page down below in the description. Alright, so we are going to start things off with the smallest US coin minted, the trime. Now, these little babies are smaller than a dime, and in many cases, they're worth more than a dime. They were minted from 1851 through 1873. And something I learned during my research on these is the first 3 years minted, they were only 75% silver and 25% copper. But they quickly changed it to match up the regular 90% silver metal contents. So the last years they were minted were 90% silver. Although you will only typically find them between 1851 and 1862 because they drastically reduced the mintage down far below even 50,000 after 1862. And in 1873, they only made 600 proofs. Another reason why you won't find much of them after 1862 is because just about all of the 3-cent coins that were not proofs ended up getting melted down in 1873. Most of these coins from 1851 through 1862 go for similar prices in the lower grades. But there are 3 that break out and hit close to over $1,000 in MS63. The first one is the only one with a mint mark, the only one out of the entire series. And that is the 1851 O. Then you got the 1852, but it has to be the 1 over inverted 2 RPD, repunched date. And then you got the 1855. Now, if you are ever lucky enough to find one after 1862, not one of them goes for less than $400 in the low G4 condition. All right, now we're moving along to the war nickel. For some reason, I don't know why, they just seem to catch my eye, especially when they're in a graded condition like this. But in October of 1942, they made the nickel out of 56% copper, 35% silver, and 9% manganese. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that one right, but that's just how it comes out my mouth. I don't understand why I just can't seem to say it right if I'm not saying it right. But anyway, this was so that they could use the nickel that they would normally mint these with in the war efforts. And the easiest way to tell a war nickel is by the mint mark, which I showed you earlier. Let me show you another nice example here. Zoom in, and you see the mint mark right up above the Monticello building. And this is also, let me see if I can find one. There we go. This is also where the Philadelphia mint mark was used for the first time. There it is. Let me get that put back. They're all very affordable, for the most part. Worn down, dark-colored, and heavily circulated nickels, such as these down here, they can go for about $1.50 or so. Really depends on the silver price, what the spot price does. But in a nice MS65, the typical ones are right around about $20 or so, which isn't too bad. So you get, some of these in about 20 bucks. Where some of the real price tags come in is either in the over dates, like the 1943 Philadelphia 3/2, which I'll show you a picture of it here. The doubled I, not the double die, but the doubled I on a 1943 Philadelphia, which you see here. Or the doubled die reverse on a 1945 Philadelphia, which again, you'll see right here. The other money makers are in high grades, MS66 or better, and especially if they are graded with full steps designation. And what that is like on this one, you'll see the 5FS, that means 5 full steps. And we're talking about, on the reverse, see if I can get it to shine well enough and get focused. I don't know. But it's talking about the steps that are right here for the Monticello building. I'm not sure I can get the light to shine just right and be in focus for you to see it. Maybe I'll pull up my scope and show you guys. All right, here we go. See all the steps right here in front of the building? There has to be at least 5 of them that are unbroken and fully visible to be able to get that designation. And that just happens to be one of them right there. So there's your full steps designation. Now, we're going to talk about the coin that preceded the nickel. And that would be the half dime. The half dime started minting in February of 1795. Although some were minted with the year 1794 on them. And they continued minting them all the way through 1873. And they followed the same designs as the other silver coinage of that time, starting with the flowing hair design. Then they also had the drape bust design. Then we've got the capped bust design. And we finished it off with the seated liberty design. Now remember, we will only be covering the first 2 designs today. Now, both of the designs we're going to cover today are not quite 90% silver. Just like the other silver coins we covered back that far, they were 89.24% silver. So just a hair under. And that first design is the flowing hair half dime. And it was technically only minted for the 1 year, 1795. But as I said earlier, some that were struck in the beginning of 1795 were struck with the year 1794. Either way, 1794 or 1795, they are both worth a good bit. Easily $600 to $1,000 in an AG3 condition. Next is the drape bust half dime. This design was minted from 1796 to 1805, and it has 2 different reverse varieties. The first variety is the small eagle reverse, which was only minted for the first 2 years, and neither one of those will sell less than $800 in the AG3 condition. The second reverse is the Heraldic Eagle, which was minted from 1800 through 1805. And if you didn't catch it, there was a 2-year gap in there. No half dimes were minted in 1798 or 1799. There's also none minted in 1804. But any of those that were minted, they can go for at least $600. However, there's that 1 year that is the Holy Grail. And with only 3,060 minted, the 1802 Heraldic Eagle drape bust half dime sells for an astounding $45,000 in the AG3 condition. And the price just goes up into the hundreds of thousands of dollars from there. Now that is a crazy high price to close out on. Now on part 2 of this episode, we will be continuing on with the remaining 2 half dime designs, and then we'll talk about the 40% half dollars which are here, and also discover what Ike dollars have silver in them. But until then, this is Silver Scrounger saying thanks for watching and keep on stacking. I want to thank everyone for watching my video. It is greatly appreciated. If you enjoyed it, found it informative or entertaining, please hit that thumbs up button by liking the video. Also, comment on what you think about anything discussed. I'm always interested to hear other people's thoughts. Until next time, this is Silver Scrounger saying thanks for watching and keep on stacking.